at Anfield has just got underway. Could be a classic, it could be a real stalemate as well. You never really know when these two teams clash, just how things are going to play out. We're always hopeful for the more attacking option, but we know that when Liverpool play Manchester City, there really is a lot at stake, regardless of how the league table looks. From Man City's point of view, they need to get the win just to keep the pressure on Arsenal. Liverpool need the win just to start performing more like the champions that they are this season. They haven't really had the best of defences so far, so let's hope for a good game. But certainly from the point of view of the neutral, this game can sometimes be an absolute belter with goals and chances, and it can sometimes just be a real sort of bored draw with both sides trying to avoid defeat. We'll see how it plays out. It's myself, Paul Szczerbakowicz, and Kieran Graham taking the reaction. Kieran, how do we see this one today? Liverpool at home, they would normally be favourites, but the way City are playing, you've got to say that they're probably edging it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I did City last week against Spurs, and they had an outstanding first half and a woeful second half. Let's see what City turn up today, because they know deep down the pressure's on. They have to win this game because of Arsenal's recent form. City dropping points really poorly up against Spurs last week, like mentioned, so they have to win this game. So City's approach to this one will be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. As straight away we saw a ball down the left-hand side. City now have one possession high up the field. It's with Bernardo Silva. Threads the ball into Haaland. Haaland into the 6-yard box. He can't quite get his shot away. There's some really good covering there from Milos Kerkez. He just about does enough getting his body in between the Haaland and the goalkeeper, and somehow it's still 0-0 when really it should have been 1-0 to City.
Should be 1-0 to City, and it's almost like Haaland can't quite believe he's got this chance so early on. It just ricochets into his path from Bernardo Silva. He gets there instantly. Liverpool back on the attack. I think it's just a tame effort from Haaland straight at Alisson. He closes the angle really quickly, to be fair to the Brazilian. You can tell it's quite an exciting start to this one. Fingers crossed the trajectory of this continues.
Absolutely, yeah, but that's credit there to Kerkez, just about getting his body in the way to put off Erling Haaland. And of course Kerkez needs a good little run as well, because he was signed by Liverpool having been a really promising player at Bournemouth, and actually not really sort of bedded in here as yet.
Yeah, exactly. Kerkez has been really poor this season as the left back. I think a lot of players have been poor for Liverpool. If we're being honest, Cody Gakpo gets there, he should be offside the flag. I mean, the linesman took ages to put his flag up there, and Alisson's just saying to stay focused. We're going to see that chance once again. Haaland just gets there, weaker right foot. Kerkez does just enough to get it across. It's good defending from him in the end, but we're now just seeing it back once again. It's a big save. What a big start to this game it's been.
Absolutely, it's exactly the start we were hoping for. A quick chance inside the first 2 minutes, and now Marmoush trying to turn away from Szoboszlai. Well, he's not. He wouldn't be your first choice as right back, but it just goes to show that Liverpool have had problems in that position. There's been an injury to Frimpong, and since then they've not really been able to trust anybody else in that position. So you miss out on Szoboszlai in midfield, but at least he's still in the 11. Yeah,
and he's a great player. He's Dominic Szoboszlai. He does the job really well in right back when he does play there. He has a little bit of almost that inverted fullback role as well. He can just drop into midfield. Players can cover. Works really well, actually, but yeah, he's better off when he's in midfield, there's no doubt about it. They've got to get players like Wirtz, Ekitike involved early doors in this one. Wirtz looks like the player we expected him to be over recent weeks.
It did, absolutely he does. It did take a good few months, but you always felt as though the talent and the potential for Wirtz was there. You saw it previously, as now Donnarumma does a little feint to try and clear the ball away in front of Ekitike, and then it's just getting a little bit hairy here. Kusanov having to use every little bit of skill just to try and avoid giving away a corner kick there. Certainly won't thank his teammate Mark Gahey for that slightly overplayed pass, but now Donnarumma under pressure again. He just about gets it away from Gakpo. The ball is still at the edge of the area. Kusanov now under pressure. Ekitike wins it back, and the ball's nearly been played back to Mo Salah. Well, Manchester City are completely 100% the architects of that situation. They were playing out from the back. Credit to them, though, because they eventually do get the ball away. Now suddenly it opens up it down the left-hand side for O'Reilly, but his pass into Marmoush deflects off McAllister. Haaland was chasing that loose ball. It's been partially cleared, but City have it back. It is now with Marmoush. He goes to Semenyo, who absolutely toe ends that high and handsomely way into the Kop stand, the upper tier of the Kop there, and it's out for a goal kick, but end to end there for at least a minute.
Yeah, what a great start this has been. Semenyo's already got 2 goals at Anfield this season on the opening day of the season for Bournemouth. He was unbelievable. Kusanov just taking some risk, Gahey taking risk, even Van Dijk has just played a poor pass there. The nerves, you can tell that the atmosphere is of course going to be electric in there from both sets of fans. We of course can't hear it, but yeah, it's just a few mistakes. That makes for a great watch for us.
Oh, it certainly does, as Kirkes does well to take a high ball down, and he gets away from Nunes, and now there's a ball played through towards Ekitike and Gakpo. I was thinking that maybe one or the other could have been offside. The flag stays down. In the end, the ball was just a bit too quick for both Ekitike and Gakpo, but now O'Reilly trying to get the ball going for City. He was pushed off the ball there by Szczerbakowicz. He said he was. The referee disagrees, and actually it's a foul from O'Reilly.
Yeah, O'Reilly takes him down while he's going down. It's great running. I'm a massive fan of O'Reilly. The last couple of weeks he's been playing in midfield, hasn't he, with Ryan Aitnuri starting as the left back. I think on his day Nico O'Reilly really can be one of the best left backs in the league, so let's see how he fares in this role. He's got such physical presence as a ball carrier, which I think Pep Guardiola quite likes about him in midfield.
Oh, absolutely. It'd be interesting to ask, actually, Nico O'Reilly what his best position is, because I think that he has the strength and the ball skills to easily be a midfielder, but then he does do very well on that left-hand side for City as well. I suppose it's sort of a similar situation to Rico Lewis, who at one stage seemed to be sort of primed to be the next right-back. Hasn't really worked out for him, and he actually hasn't really worked out for Rico Lewis in midfield either, but potentially O'Reilly has just that little bit more about his game.
Yeah, he does. Nico O'Reilly's a great player, like I said. He came through the youth ranks playing as a midfielder. Left back was quite an unnatural thing for him to come into at senior level, and he just grew into it, became very comfortable, and that's just naturally become his position. But over recent weeks, yeah, Pep Guardiola used him in different roles.
Yeah, absolutely. We've allowed ourselves that little chat on Nico O'Reilly because not much has happened in the meantime. City just in possession at the edge of their own box, and now it's Rodri back to Donnarumma, and it's Guehi now under a little bit of pressure from Salah, but he lifts that ball up to the halfway line. Marmoush is about to chase a loose ball, but the referee says that he's fouled Konate in trying to go for the ball. Marmoush, as you would expect, disagrees with that, but it will be a free kick to Liverpool, and that's important for them just to try and slow down any kind of attacking intent here from Manchester City. Ball now back with Van Dijk, switching play over towards the right-hand side here now for Konate. Ball forward from Szczerbakowicz, but that's cut out here by Ryan Aitnuri. He's not had the most auspicious start to his period at the Etihad. It's not always easy, isn't it, where you think of all the top players you have to sort of compete against when you come from a slightly smaller side in the Premier League, as Liverpool now on the attack down the right-hand side. Throw on's been taken very quickly here, and Ekitike chasing that one to the edge of the area. Kusanov was there first. He goes back to Donnarumma, whose clearance doesn't get too much, and Gravenberg's miscontrolled it, and suddenly it's a 3-on-3. If Rodri plays the right ball, which he doesn't, it's a ball behind Marmoush. It completely slows the move down, and Liverpool can now come back in numbers.
Yeah, and Manchester City have possession once more. It's a really good game, a really good watch so far in this one. They've seen a couple of chances for the likes of Erling Haaland, Matt Guehi in possession, usually so comfortable in possession. He's made a couple of mistakes. Here he does. Semenyo turns away from his man. Here comes City. Yes,
Semenyo does well, and then he finds Marmoush, who was, on this occasion, I think City are going to get the decision. They've had 2 or 3 50-50 calls from the referee, which have all gone the way of Liverpool. This time, they do get the call, and it couldn't really have gone any other way. I mean, Konate was effectively wrestling with Marmoush there, so there's no attempt to play the ball. Easy decision, really, for Craig Pawson, our match referee. Mark Guehi just having a quick word with the ref as well as he heads towards the penalty area. It's in a slightly awkward position for Bernardo Silva, this one, really, because it's quite far away from goal, so he can't really be shooting, but then it's also quite central, so any kind of cross, they're going to see it coming a mile off.
Yeah, and they've probably got some of the best headers of the ball at the back, do Liverpool, in the likes of Van Dijk and Konate, so it's tricky. They're not a big side either, City are. There's really just Haaland with aerial presence.
Pretty much, yeah. It is Erling Haaland, of course, and his aerial presence is superb, but he's not going to be able to do much on his own with the Liverpool defenders all around him. What's Bernardo going to do here? He lifts that ball into the edge of the 6-yard box. It was pretty much a straightforward cross, slightly on a slight angle there. It's Bukadir Kusanov who was getting underneath it. The Uzbek international couldn't quite redirect it. He was always pretty much behind him, really.
Yeah, it's a good delivery. He found a bit of space. That's what's important in that. If you're not the biggest player, at least look at a bit of space where a big player can't even get near you to win their header. Unfortunately for him, the neck muscles just couldn't stretch enough to hook it goalwards. Kusanov wins it back. City starting to look a bit more comfortable in this game.
They really are, and they're starting to see a little bit more of the ball. Liverpool now pushing out, but the ball to Ekitike is over here. It's now back with Donnarumma, who lifts it over towards the left-hand side, headed forward here by Aitnuri. He's trying to chase that one down, but Szczerbakowicz will be there first, and then Aitnuri trying to push Szczerbakowicz to win the ball back, and he gives away an obvious free kick there. So a chance now for Liverpool to potentially try and swing a ball in. And this is very wide. It's pretty much on the touchline here on the right hand side, about 40 yards from goal. But Szczerbakowicz picks himself up, and he's going to take the free kick himself. Just waiting to see where his teammates have positioned themselves. City have positioned themselves just outside the box in terms of their offside. They're using the edge of the D as their sort of marker. There are currently 3 Liverpool players deliberately stood in offside positions. They're going to have to time their movement just right to make sure they're not offside by the time the Hungarian international Szczerbakowicz actually whips this ball in. So he's got his arm up now. Liverpool's number 8. He lifts that. It's headed up in the air by Salah. That's not ideal. Donnarumma comes out, and it's not the best punch, but actually he gets it away to the edge of the area. Then Marmoush completes the job. It's going to be chased all the way to the halfway line, but it's then cleared, and it's going to go out for a throw here to Man City on the right-hand side. But in the end, it wasn't the best punch from Donnarumma, but it got the job done.
Yeah, it did. It was commanding goalkeeping. He's a giant. He's the best goalkeeper in the Premier League by some way, and probably in the world at the moment. Is Donnarumma. It was unbelievable last season for PSG. The amount of games I covered them in the Champions League, and I thought, yes, PSG were unbelievable, but he saved them on so many occasions, and he's been unbelievable at Man City as well. Some of the saves he's made, fantastic, as we now see Haaland on the attack.
Yeah, Haaland on. Oh, what a through ball that is. If Marmoush is onside, it must be 1-0. He's put it wide. That is a glaring miss from Omar Marmoush, and it's almost like the little wry smile. He's almost begging that linesman to put the flag up. I don't think the flag goes up. We'll see as Haaland gets the ball from Semenyo. Oh, he might have been offside by half a step anyway, but he doesn't know that, and the way he's gone for goal, he wants to score. It's just a really bad miss.
Such a bad miss, and he's offside, Omar Marmoush. He'll be grateful for that offside flag, but it's an opportunity for him today. Hasn't started a lot in the Premier League as of late in terms of this season as well. Has had injury problems, of course, and then AFCON duty as well, but he's playing with Erling Haaland today, and Semenyo being on the pitch as well. There's an avenue for chances. I was surprised to see Cherki not start in this one. I thought Cherki was the best player on the pitch against Tottenham. He's unbelievable. I thought he'd have started today, but we could see him later on.
Yeah, we could. There's going to be a little bit of afters here now. O'Reilly's not happy with Gravenberch. The referee lets it go. That should be a yellow card for Gravenberch for me. He was deliberately pulling back an opponent with no attempt to play the ball. Not happy with this sort of in-game sort of management. Referees have always done it, but now there just seems to be this obsession with not showing an early yellow card, even when it's glaringly obvious that there should have been one. But City are now starting to really edge the advantage in this game. The first 3 or 4 minutes it was end-to-end. There is still an attempt from Liverpool to be direct, but it's now City who are getting their sort of game plan on paper a little bit more.
Yeah, they are. They're dealing with the ball really well, actually, Man City. After a couple of nervy passes, they're even taking risks in their own area, but they're getting away with it.
They are getting away with it. That was very close, though. Rodri just glancing a little ball over towards Kusanov with Wirtz and with Gakpo lurking as well, but the ball was cleared away, and now City have a chance to go forward down the left here with Ait Nouri. He holds it up and goes back towards Rodri. It's Guehi now on the halfway line. Still playing it forward for Marmoush. 30 yards out from goal. Tees it up for Rodri, who goes for goal. It takes a big deflection, which completely wrong for Alisson, but it also completely changes direction and goes away from goal, and it actually deflected off a Man City player after all of that, so it's just going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, goal kick coming up for Liverpool in the end. Rodri just comes off the heel of Erling Haaland, doesn't it? I'm not sure it would have gone in anyway. I think Alisson would have had it covered pretty easily, but there's chances, isn't there? We've not seen anything really of Ekitike, who's now battling with Nunes. He does really well to win a throw-in.
He does, yeah. We've not seen any really opportunity for Ekitike to shine in this game so far, but certainly the fact that Liverpool went out of their way to sign him when he seemed to be destined for Newcastle just goes to show that they obviously had a good gut feeling that he could end up being a real positive impact on this Liverpool team, and he's certainly proven to be the case. He's been excellent, Hugo Ekitike. He's building a really good rapport with the Liverpool fans, and we know that it's not always easy. I mean, Liverpool fans will back every one of their players to the hilt, but to actually become a sort of more established fan's favourite does take a little bit more work, a little bit more achievement on the pitch. But that's a good header on forward there from Haaland, and Semenyo, he wants to take on his former teammate here in Kerkez, and he gets away from him, but the cross, because he was under pressure from Kerkez, he never really got the whip on the cross, and Alisson can make the save.
Yeah, playing off the right hand side today is Semenyo, isn't he? So he's directly on his stronger right foot, so he went for the early cross. Salah's in behind, he picks the wrong pass. He had to go down the line there to Florian Wirtz. He tries to stab it central gives it away. Here comes City.
They do. Semenyo wanting an early ball this time, and he actually plays the ball to an area where Marmoush had just stood, but Marmoush was moving to the middle, so just a little bit of miscommunication between the two of them, and the ball now cleared here for Liverpool. Salah's chasing this one with Guehi. Guehi should get there first. Slightly awkward bounce there for Mark Guehi, but he does well in the end. He actually clears the ball just as he's falling, and it's actually a pass rather than just a clearance. Like Nouri can keep this in play, and now Rodri bringing it forward for Manchester City. 15 minutes on the clock here at Anfield. It's goalless between Liverpool and Manchester City, but that's a lovely through ball there at the edge of the area, and here's Marmoush. Was he brought down? I don't think he was. I think he was falling a little bit too easily there for my money. It was Mateus Nunes that threaded the ball through to him. But Craig Paulson is just saying to wait momentarily.
Yeah, what a battle it's been between those two so far. He's holding him. There's not enough in it. But we've seen these two almost foul each other 3 or 4 on different occasions so far. It's a really good battle. It's like Kanate is dealing with Marmoush. Van Dijk's dealing with Haaland. This is where players like Semenyo and Bernardo Silva, you've got to be the player to unlock the space for them both. We're yet to see it so far, apart from the chance in the opening minute for Haaland.
Yeah, well, I just mentioned the referee earlier about not booking players too quickly, or not booking players quickly enough. I actually hope that Marmoush and Konate don't get booked too early, because it means they can probably have a proper battle, proper physical battle between them as well. But it's been Marmoush certainly getting a lot. He's actually seeing more of the ball early on than Haaland is. As Donnarumma now standing with the ball. As I say, he's taking longer than 6 seconds. I suppose it's not in his hands, so they're not going to rush him as much as he was just holding it. But he rolls it out towards Kusanov, and Kusanov with a ranging run forward. He finds Semenyo. Semenyo leaves it for Haaland. It's about 40 yards from goal. Haaland then plays a great ball across to Marmoush, who gets there just ahead of Szoboszlai, but he couldn't quite get away from Szoboszlai, who has to put it out for a corner. But this is much better for Manchester City now, and Liverpool under real pressure.
Yeah, what a ball that was from Erling Haaland. He's added that to his game. The last few games I've done of Manchester City, I've always found myself speaking about Haaland's link-up play and certain passes that he's been picking. There again, drop in a bit deeper, lovely ball in behind it. It asks the question of Liverpool's defenders, doesn't it? And 17 minutes in, I've been really impressed with City, actually.
Corner kick now to the visitors, and it's going to be an in-swinger here off the right boot of Omar Marmoush. Just waiting to see where his teammates have positioned themselves. It's a really good whip ball. Gay is charging into the 6-yard box, and he's very nearly makes contact with it. The ball is just about cleared away back into midfield. It's kept alive though here for City on the right by Bernardo Silva. Rodri was the one who initially dropped deep to mop up here for City. Rodri gets it back here on the halfway line. Leaves it here for Mateus Nunes. He's usually the last one back for City when they have a set piece. Rodri into Semenyo. No options to go forward though, so it's back with Nunes now on the halfway line. Now it's Bukadir Kusanov under pressure from Iketike, sending the ball back towards Mark Guehi, and there's comfortable possession this now for Manchester City. It's just a question of what Liverpool do to try and break that, really.
Yeah, exactly that. Manchester City, despite having a pretty different sort of defence, who've not all played together that much, they all look really on the same wavelength at the back. Even when they're taking their risks, it's almost like everyone's panicking but them, isn't it? Long ball up towards Haaland. Yeah,
long ball up towards Haaland, but this is very well read in the air by, first of all, by Van Dijk, then a diving header from Kerkez gets the ball away. Gakpo's pass, though, is blocked before it reaches the halfway line. So Man City have it back here now with Aït-Nouri. Leaves it for O'Reilly. O'Reilly and Rodri exchanging passes, but it's all steady away here for Manchester City. Now there's a bit more space down the left-hand side for Aït-Nouri. That's really poor. He actually, I think the ball had gone out of play there. Has he been given a free kick? If he has, he's one of the luckiest players there, I think, Ryan Aït-Nouri, because the way he controlled that, I thought it was already going out for a throw-on. In fairness, he does actually save it from going out for a throw, but the control was really bad, and I think he's quite lucky to get fouled there.
Yeah, he's the type of player, he's known for his good ball control, Ryan Aït-Nouri. That's what he's known for as a fullback who can really get forwards, and Szoboszlai just waves an arm. He gives the referee a decision to make. He doesn't need to do it, does he, Dominic Szoboszlai? So a free kick opportunity to whip in now.
Yeah, well, the last free kick we saw from Bernardo Silva was a good free kick, but it wasn't from an easy angle. This is much better. It's out wide. It's on the left-hand side. An out-swinging ball here from the Portuguese international. No doubt, of course, is already making plans for being in the USA for the World Cup in the summer. The free kick, though, from him is a little bit low, a little bit flat, easily headed away by Gakpo. Loose ball might have still been available there for Mo Salah. Salah hits the deck like he might have been fouled. Referee says no, there was no foul, and it's possession back here now for Manchester City on the left-hand side. Back on the halfway line, Salah's picked himself up. Now he's still complaining to Craig Paulson that he felt he was fouled. But City play on. And it's Mateus Nunes, ball down the right-hand side, right towards the byline. Kept in play here by Semenyo. Semenyo back towards Mateus Nunes. It's with Rodri. Options to go long, so he just goes back towards the halfway line now for Mark Gay. Gay over towards the left-hand side. Ait Nouri. Back to O'Reilly. Under pressure, just playing the ball back in towards Kusanov. Kusanov under pressure here with players closing him down, but Liverpool are really starting to struggle to get any kind of meaningful possession. City are seeing a lot more of the ball now as Ait Nouri moves down the left-hand side. Szoboszlai puts him under pressure, goes short to Gay, and then it's Rodri's ball played into the penalty area. Marmoush is onside, gets away from Dominic Szoboszlai, holds onto it and then plays it back to Gay. Gay now to Ait Nouri. His cross is charged down by Szoboszlai out for a throw, but Liverpool just can't leave their own half right now. Really
struggling, aren't they, Liverpool? It's not been the electric start from them that we expected that they usually like to have at Anfield, that they haven't really had this season. In all fairness, ball to the left, Ait Nouri has done brilliant.
Oh, he's done superbly well. It gets away from Szoboszlai. A low ball into the box. Haaland then tees it up for Marmoush. Marmoush spins, turns and goes for goal, but it's wide. They're claiming that there was a deflection there. Marmoush is swearing that there was a corner. I think the referees agreed with them, actually. It's going to be a corner to Man City. I mean, in an ideal world, maybe Haaland would have been able to pull the trigger first, or indeed Marmoush would have been able to hit it first time, but they were just a little bit of couldn't quite do that.
Yeah, exactly, and we're just going to see it back now. Was there a deflection? There was a clear deflection from Gravenberch. Great from Ait Nouri again. He's starting to cause problems, isn't he? On the attack down the left-hand side, just bombing forwards. He's starting to get at Szoboszlai as the corner's whipped in. Now it's got a shot to Matt Gahey with a header straight down the throat of Alisson, who looks to restart play quickly.
Yeah, very quickly, just boots this one straight down the middle, does Alisson. The idea was to try and pick out Cody Gakpo, but unfortunately for him, there were enough Man City players coming back tracking, so that move has been and gone, and now Manchester City are back in possession here on the halfway line. It's with O'Reilly to Ait Nouri. Mark Gahey now stepping forward. Stats in this game, well, it makes for grim reading if you're a Liverpool fan. 6 shots from City, 2 on target, 71% possession. Liverpool 29% possession, no effort at all to speak of, which I've got to say, for 20 minutes of football at Anfield, I think that's quite unusual for Liverpool against any opposition, really.
Yeah, it is. It's really weird. Usually they're well and truly up for the big games, aren't they? Liverpool, Ekitike, just to get a few touches, dropped so deep. He's been fouled by Marmoush. As we see that challenge go in. 2 former Frankfurt forwards going at each other.
Yeah, absolutely. It's potentially a little bit of afters from an earlier rivalry, of course, to try and be in the team. So the ball now played back towards Szoboszlai. He's under a little bit of pressure here from Marmoush, but he still has enough time to go back towards Alisson, who has got Haaland just ahead of him at the edge of the penalty area, but he's still not being rushed here, the Brazilian keeper. We're over the halfway mark in this first half. 23 minutes gone. It is goalless between Liverpool and Man City, and here's Kieran to take us through to half-time.
Yeah, thank you very much, Paul. As we see Liverpool just in possession once more. Konate now. He's going to go towards the goalkeeper, Alisson. It's going to be with Van Dijk once again. Alisson once more goes to the right-hand side. It's going to be Ibrahima Konate, who finds Dominic Szoboszlai. Ball into the area. He's really poor. It's intercepted. Bernardo Silva driving forwards into the box. Runs again across the face goal, looking towards Haaland. It just evades him. He keeps it alive there. He finds Semenyo, who's up 1v1 against Kirkes. Goes for goal. Blocked out for a corner. And once again, City causing problems.
City are causing problems, and Liverpool cannot get away from their own penalty area right now. One ball from Szoboszlai deflects, and then from there, it's all City with great work from Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, it was a lovely ball across the face of goal. Van Dijk didn't want to get any form of touch on it just in case. And Semenyo looking for his 3rd goal at Anfield this season after his strike was just blocked then. As we see them ready to take this corner kick. They're all lined up awaiting it. It's going to be Bernardo Silva who raises the 2 hands. Puts it in towards the front post. Ekitike heads away, and that's a disappointing delivery in that occasion, but it's back out to Bernardo Silva. Step overs, trying to get away from Kirkes, whips in. That's a better delivery. It looked like it could have been a better one. It evades everyone and out for a goal kick. And set pieces, I'd be surprised if that's their avenue to success today.
No, it's I think from Man City's point of view, what they need to do is just keep up this pressure on Liverpool. The longer they do that, the better, because you just feel that Arne Slot's side are going to start to feel as though they've got to take more risks to get rid of the ball, to perhaps commit an extra player to go a little bit further forward to help make it stick. And at that point, that's when City can really capitalise. But there's a bit of problem there for Mateus Nunes. Gakpo gets to the ball before him.
Yeah, Gakpo turns away with it. He finds Alexis McAllister, who's got options to the right. He plays through the middle though for Mo Salah. Great first touch, goes for goal, takes a deflection, and it's just wide. And it's a corner for Liverpool, who finally have their first chance of the game. It's Matt Gahey who steps in. He just drifts away from Salah initially. He's lazy defending from them in the time being, but he does just enough to get across. He makes the block. There could have been a question for offside, not given. It's going to be a corner.
Well, that would have infuriated Guardiola for his side to have been on top for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then all of a sudden Liverpool's first shot on goal could have ended up in the net. But now it is a chance here for the home side with this ball whipped in by Mo Salah.
There's Mo Salah over a corner kick now, 25.5 minutes on the clock. Liverpool 0, Man City 0, but it's the visitors who've been by far and away the best side so far. It's towards the back post. Van Dijk wins his header up against Semenyo. He's going to keep it alive on the left-hand side. Kirkes near the halfway line. Back to the left for Gravenberch. He's got no option to the left. He finds Szoboszlai, takes a touch, plays it back down the left, and it's a terrible ball from Dominic Szoboszlai that goes out for a throw-in. Dominic Szoboszlai's claiming for a throw in his way. I mean, he's just passed it straight out of play. I really don't know what he's claiming for there, or why he thinks he could get away with asking for that one. But the rain is hammering it down at Anfield. No,
it really is. It's, say, doing commentary of games yesterday, it really did affect things, and the game on Friday night as well. Just non-stop rain. Really has been very miserable weather across England over the last 48 hours or so. But this will cheer the Liverpool fans up, because a bit of a fight for the ball right in the corner, and it has actually gone out for a corner. Yeah,
good opportunity now to hoist the ball in for Liverpool, throw some bodies forwards, which we've not seen too much so far. As all lined up, ready to meet this one. Donnarumma just assessing his space ahead of him. No one really crowding him at the moment. Dominic Szoboszlai ready to take this in front of the Man City fans. Of course, it's been such a big rivalry over recent years, this fixture, because it's been these two battling for the title, but Arsenal have steamed in as of late. Ball whipped in towards the near post. Donnarumma gets there once again. Strong, commanding goalkeeping from him. It's only as far as Szoboszlai. He's going to whip it back in towards the back post. Donnarumma commits early, and it's poor goalkeeping this time. Salah hooks it goalwards. He's put it over. He had time. Mohamed Salah, poor decision making from him, and Donnarumma gets away with one.
Donnarumma gets away with one, and Salah lets him off, because really there was no need to try and hit this early. There was no need for even Salah to go for goal himself. He could have played it to a teammate. Look at Ekitike stood at the edge of the 6-yard box. But by the time the ball is lobbed in, of course, there are players marking him, but that was strange from Donnarumma. He went too far away from his 6-yard box, and it was like a flailing hand, which never looked like much to try and get on the ball anyway.
Yes, we now see Donnarumma going long down the left-hand side. Kanate wins his header. It's only as far as Salah, who's up against Matt Gahey. No free kick given. Salah's raging. He's punching the floor. He's got to be careful as the forward ball's a Poland. Szoboszlai steps in. He goes down. Now a free kick's going to be given. It's just heating up this game.
Yeah, it's just starting to get a little bit feisty. Liverpool are now just fighting that little bit more to try and keep some attacking possession themselves, and that's having an impact here on City, who want the ball back.
Yes, we now see Alisson in possession. Goes across towards Van Dijk. And it's going to be Alisson once again. No real pressure from Manchester City. They know how important today is for their title race. They've got to get something going. A victory would be vital. If they don't win, well, as it stands coming into this game, if they were to get a point, they'd be 8 points behind Arsenal, 25 games in. That just, with how Arsenal are playing at the moment, just feels like too much to recover, as Arsenal just winning so many games on their bounce at the moment. As we now see Gravenberch down the line. It's a good interception from Mike Neri, but he just hammers it forwards into the hands of Alisson. 29 minutes in. I'm not sure if there's a little bit of afters. Mike Neri's gone down after booting it. He instantly stands up, and I think the Liverpool fans finding that a little bit ironic when he realises he didn't get the decision. I mean,
Anfield will be is the worst place to try and feign an injury and then suddenly get up from it, because the Liverpool fans will certainly be at you straight away. But now Kirkes gives it away, and it's half a chance here for Bernardo Silva.
Bernardo Silva driving forward, just doesn't have the pace, does he, to really capitalise on anything like that. That's disappointing for him. As we see Matt Gay now brings it down. He's got options ahead of him. If he can find them. So he's going to go towards the left-hand side for Marmoush. Now it's going to be Rodri for Semenyo. Haaland makes a running behind. Semenyo looks towards O'Reilly. It's intercepted by Konate, and it's good defending.
It is good defending, yeah. The ball in the end just doesn't reach Haaland in the way that he would have liked. So it almost seems like the last 6 or 7 minutes, pretty much as you've taken over commentary, Kieran, it's like Liverpool have started to work out a little bit more what City are trying to do, and it's forced City back a little bit as well. So it's just the dynamic in the game has just shifted slightly.
Yeah, it really has at the moment. As you see the ball in the feet of Alisson, who's got Konate to the right. He goes backwards to Konate as well to find him. Hooks it to the left-hand side for Florian Wirtz. He brings it down, plays a forward ball in behind for Ekitike, and it's a great ball as well. Ekitike on the left-hand side of the penalty area. He turns onto his right foot. He's still going. Ekitike up against Gay. He goes for goal. It's outstanding defending from Matt Gay. It's going to be a goal kick as well. Brilliant from the Englishman.
It's brilliant from the Englishman, but the Frenchman should have done a little bit better there, I think, Ekitike. Once he gets to the edge of the box, there were options to play that to Salah. Salah was unmarked at the start of that move. It's a great ball from Wirtz, though. Take nothing away. Just smashing that through the middle in towards Ekitike. And then he takes too long on the ball. But as you say, rightly say, take nothing away from Mark Gay. He knows the spotlight's on him after the big move from Palace, and he does very well on that occasion.
Yeah, he's been non-existent so far as Hugo Ekitike coming into the 32nd minute. Still 0-0 between these two sides. They're starting to just get a couple half chances here and there. Liverpool, you can tell the crowd's getting going as well, as we now see McAllister balling towards Gakpo. Is a bad one. It's into Gakpo again. He looked offside on live viewing. Nunes gets there. He's under some pressure. That's got to be a free kick. It is. The referee's been a busy man so far in this opening 32. Cody Gakpo not too happy about something, but I mean, we've not really said his name too much yet.
No, he's not really been involved. He might have just been offside. I don't think there was too much in that, but it's good covering from Mateus Nunes, who pretty much is a full-time convert into right-back now, isn't he? He was more of a right-winger when he first joined City from Wolves, but he's been asked to play in that right-back role, and he's grown into it, and he gets the regular starts now.
Yeah, he certainly does. He's a good player. He still, in interviews, says that he's a midfielder, but he ain't going to complain, because if he wants to be a midfielder, he's not going to be playing for Man City. Florian Wirtz is in behind, though. He's going to look for a cutback. It's a good inception. He's done brilliant, Rodri, to prevent the corner as well. And now it's Szoboszlai, wins it back for Mo Salah, who's been pretty quiet as well. But Florian Wirtz, a rare opportunity in behind for him. Wasn't a terrible play from him at all, as Liverpool are just enjoying a spell of possession. It's almost their turn to not dominate the game, but have their enjoyment.
Yes, absolutely. I think that they need to respond, just if anything, for their fans. Oh, that's bad, though. Alisson and Van Dijk exchanging passes at the edge of their own box. Alisson's ball to Van Dijk is over hit, and now a gift of possession for Man City in the final third.
Well, that's close to the commentator, because as I said, they're starting to look a little bit comfortable in possession. You see Alisson play a woeful pass into Van Dijk. It's just a little stuff like that that's creeped into Liverpool's game this season that we haven't seen for quite a while. Rodri clicks it in towards the back post. Haaland meets it first time. It's straight down the throat of the goalkeeper Alisson, who makes the save you expect him to make. He took it early with a back post run. It's a great ball from Rodri to pick him out there. Just floats it in. Konate just jogging across, but he doesn't get the greatest of connections. Simple save.
Yeah, it's a simple save. What I was going to say is, though, I was just going to break off because the ball to Salah in the end is a little bit too long, so Donnarumma can make the save. I was just wondering whether Haaland had to hit that first time. Maybe if he takes a touch, Konate, the way he was moving, he would have carried on, and maybe he would have had more of a chance of getting that one away from the goalkeeper there.
Yeah, Man City back in possession. Matt Gahey now, who's been quite the wall at the back so far for Manchester City. I think it's Crystal Palace have been missing him, but defensively today they weren't missing him because they were fantastic at the Amex at the back. I thought Lacroix was unbelievable for Crystal Palace, but we see Gahey go long up towards Marmoush. He looks to bring it down. It's really poor from him. It's been a bit of an up and down game for Marmoush, hasn't it, so far? He's almost playing as a second striker that's drifting a little bit left, but he's so close to Haaland. It's almost like he's taking up Haaland's space at times. He's had a bright start, but over the last 10 minutes or so, really struggling to just make that ball stick up front.
No, he is, and he's got to stick with it, because obviously there are going to be difficult spells in a game like in a game against Liverpool. It's never going to be sort of non-stop, as we can see. Kirkes there just going out of play. But no, I mean, overall I've been impressed with Marmoush in this game. I just think that it's going to be difficult to have that sort of run towards goal like he had in the first 15 minutes, because of course now Liverpool have improved as well.
Yeah, as we now see the ball with Ibrahima Konate, goes to the right hand side for Szoboszlai, back with Konate again. A little bit of pressure from Marmoush as Liverpool are forced to go long. 35 minutes on the clock. If you are just tuning in, still 0-0 between the two sides. Matt Gahey not once but twice leaps higher than Ekitike to win his header, then O'Reilly on Gravenberch. What a battle that's been so far. Two of the more slim, taller style midfielders on the pitch at the moment, and I mean they're both almost winning even duels against each other. This time it's O'Reilly that fouls his man.
It's O'Reilly that's committed the foul this time, but no, it has been a fascinating game so far. There's been very few clear-cut chances in front of goal, but the intensity's definitely there in the game from both sides.
Yeah, it's offside against Ekitike there. Kusanov's having a busy job trying to deal with him. As much as it's still 0-0, I think this has been a very good watch. I think it's a great tactical battle. You see the two systems counting each other out. I think what Man City are lacking is a real playmaking forward. I think Marmoush and Semenyo are a little bit too similar to each other to have either side of Haaland. They both want to be quite central, making narrow, taking shots on. I think Cherki or Foden would really unlock Liverpool.
Well, it is. I mean, we're both surprised that Cherki isn't starting, unless the idea of using him as an impact sub for the last half an hour, that has its merits as well, of course, so you can understand why Guardiola's considering that. Now there's the Liverpool fans are up in arms, as indeed is Arne Slot. He's not happy there with our fourth official for what the first official's done on the field here, because Marmoush was turning away from Konate. Konate was holding on to him, so there was always a chance that free kick would have been given, since he have taken it short.
Yeah, it's now with Matheus Nunes on the right-hand side. He's under a little bit of pressure from Kirkes, but goes back. He had a good start, did Kirkes. Looked a little bit shaky over the last 10-15 minutes or so, though, as we see Donnarumma. He's up against Ekitike. He takes a chance, finds Gahey. What a Man City doing at the back here as Bernardo Silva, he's forced to go along. They're taking some unnecessary risks. City. Salah looked offside. The offside flag goes up. He's lazy from the Egyptian, who's been a shadow of his former self, hasn't he, as of late. As we're just seeing the cameras linger on Donnarumma, and that's because he's had a couple shaky moments over the last 10 minutes.
He has, and if I was Liverpool, I'd be doing everything I can to try and get that ball as close to him as possible, just to try and force another error, trying to see whether or not he's going to be confident in coming out for crosses. But there was a little phase in this second half where Liverpool had a bit more of an ease at going forward, and now that seems to have dried up a little bit. Yeah,
Matheus Nunes up against Ekitike. Now he's working back. He trips his man. That's a clear as day free kick to be given against the French forward. It's going to be a free kick on the right-hand side, just inside the Liverpool half. Matheus Nunes ready to take it. There's no complaints from Ekitike. He's growing a little bit frustrated. He's only had the one chance where it was great defending from Mark Gahey. Now it's going to be Bernardo Silva who's going to open it up onto the left-hand side. No pressure. Liverpool sat so deep on the edge of their own box for no real reason. Man City with their centre-half, Mark Gahey, is a little bit advanced in the Liverpool half, but nothing too majorly attacking, as we see O'Reilly. Sharp turn from him. He goes to the left-hand side for Aitner. He wants it back, does the City youngster. Doesn't get it. It's going to be Rodri. Pretty central on the in the Liverpool half. Now it's Rodri back into Marmoush. He's got space to turn into, but he recycles it for Matheus Nunes. 38 minutes on the clock. Still 0-0 between these two sides. O'Reilly back for Ryan Aitner. He started to have a little bit of joy, didn't he, down the left-hand side, and now it's going to be Bernardo Silva that unlocked the midfield for the time being. Marmoush back to Silva again. He's got Semenyo to the right, doesn't use him, takes too long. It's poor from Silva, and Liverpool come away with it. Gakpo's battling. It's a backheel, a clever backheel from Kusanov to find Semenyo. Marmoush steps in, it's level play. He finds Erling Haaland. Big defending from Dominic Szczerbakowicz, who just got across before he could get his shot off, and here come Liverpool on the counter-attack. Ekitike, great sliding challenge from Nunes, then a poor touch from Ekitike. It's like a basketball match at the moment.
It's a basketball match without the actual baskets being scored. That's the issue, though, isn't it? But they're certainly trying to go end-to-end in both sides, and it's a fascinating watch. As here comes Nunes down the right-hand side. He gets to the edge of the area.
Yeah, as we now see Matheus Nunes down the right, just a little bit too hesitant at times. As we now see Nunes scoops it in towards Bernardo Silva. He tries a first-time cross, poor from him. poor friend Van Dijk gives away a cheap corner.
Yeah, well, Van Dijk assumed that Bernardo Silva was going to get to that first, but when he didn't, Van Dijk was still swinging his foot, and he just hoists the ball up in the air behind himself in the end, and it goes out for a corner kick that really Liverpool didn't need to give away.
Yeah, corner kick coming up now for Manchester City. It's going to be an in-swinging delivery again from Bernardo Silva. They've not been great from the set pieces so far. Like mentioned, they've got a bit of a small side. I say a bit of a small side, a way small side it feels, in terms of actually winning key duels in the air. You think Van Dijk, Kanate, Ekitike, Gravenberch are all at advantage as Bernardo Silva whips it in. There's Haaland who wins the flick on there. No one followed his run towards the front post. He's been flicked on towards the back for Marmoush. The clearance was poor. Marmoush has been forced all the way back to the halfway line. This is where you want Liverpool to step up. They haven't. They've just parked on the edge of their own box. Bernardo Silva takes a terrible touch. Gets away from Kirkes, though. Uses all of his experience, the Portuguese man. As you now see Bernardo Silva up against Gakpo. He's just slowing things down quite a lot, isn't he, Bernardo Silva, so far? Which maybe that's what's being asked of him. He's always been that type of player, but it feels like Manchester City could play with a little bit more pace in attack at the moment. Bernardo Silva again.
Absolutely. When Bernardo Silva's played in about 5 different positions for Guardiola, but I'll break off on that because here comes Rodri.
Rodri with a strike from distance, well blocked away by Kanate. Now it's going to be Haaland who opens it up on the edge of the box. Good from Kanate again, who steps in. Gravenberch comes away with it. Poor pass from him. Marmoush is going to hit it from distance. He's dipping. It's just over the bar in the end. Well, we know he's got it in his locker. The Egyptian forward for Manchester City. The goal against Bournemouth last season, I believe it was, really does spring to mind from that exact same angle where it flew into the top corner. This one, it dips over the bar.
It does. I mean, that same shot, maybe 6-7 yards further out, it actually has a chance of being on target, but from where he was, just lifts it a bit too much, and the ball goes over the bar in the end. But this is a good ending to the first half here from Manchester City. And as you said, Liverpool, they're almost afraid to go forward when they could have had a counter from a City corner. They just all stayed back as one. But now Gravenberch's pushing forward, and he's going to be brought down. That's going to be a yellow card as well.
Yeah, yellow card for the Manchester City man who did bring him down. It's Omar Marmoush, who's been involved in a lot of these niggly fouls so far, where he just goes into his man. He's gone through the back of Gravenberch. He's not that cynical, is it? But he's on the counter.
Absolutely. Marmoush would expect an opposition player to get booked if that was done to him when he was on a counter-attack. It's actually the first yellow card for the Egyptian this season. Hobbling a little bit there after that collision, which led to the free kick, and now it's Szczerbakowicz waiting to take it.
Yeah, it's going to be an in-swinging delivery from Dominic Szoboszlai from this free kick. Szoboszlai watching on. He raises his left arm. 42 minutes on the clock. He's going to whip it into the air. It's decent delivery. Van Dijk gets there for the back post. Salah's on full stretch. He goes down looking for a penalty. The referee's having a think. He doesn't give it. He said goal kick for the time being, and then he's told Donnarumma just to hold his horses for the moment in case VAR have a look. It was hard on live viewing to tell if he was dragged back because it was through so many bodies from a set piece. We're going to see a better angle. Bernardo Silva, I mean, he puts an arm on the right shoulder. It seems weak, but why would you even bother doing it?
Yeah, it does seem like a. Yeah, I mean, I'd be amazed if they gave a penalty for that, but you never know. VAR does have a habit of surprising us, particularly in these big games. Occasionally, you do see something that is a little bit questionable. And we see as Van Dijk was going for the ball. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe there would be enough to give a penalty for that one. And the referee is now explaining to Mo Salah why it's not going to be a penalty.
Yeah, exactly. Right decision in the end, in my opinion, as Craig Pawson is just, I think, maybe discussing with Bernardo Silva. I mean, there's no point. Bernardo Silva doesn't agree with the fact that Salah thinks it's a penalty, so get on with it. Take the goal kick. 43 minutes on the clock. Still 0-0 between the two sides. Pep Guardiola, I was going to say he doesn't look happy. He never really does look happy, just Pep Guardiola, does he?
No, he doesn't. He's always sort of, the mind's always working, trying to think about the next move, trying to think about the next passage of play, what his side need to do next. Of course, we're only a couple of minutes away from half-time, so he'll be thinking about his half-time team talk as well. Yeah,
there's a great challenge from Van Dijk. Oh, Haaland's left one in on Virgil van Dijk in an off-the-ball incident. The referee waves advantage. We'll have to see it back again. There's a stoppage in play. And I think Van Dijk's claiming that Haaland's maybe just landed on him, maybe giving him a little bit of afters. It's a great battle. They now have a handshake. They now give each other a hug as if nothing's just happened. In a game like this, why are they hugging each other? He lands his right boot on the side of the leg of Van Dijk. It's accidental, but I mean, when you see Van Dijk and Haaland hugging each other, I'm not a fan of that in a game like this.
Well, I think what we need to remember is that off the pitch, these guys are all part of one big professional football club, aren't they? In terms of them being professionals, they obviously have a passion and a drive to do the best they can for their team. But they're also, as I say, mate, in a previous life when I used to work in court, you used to see the prosecuting barrister and the defence barristers. They got changed in the same chambers. They'd share a cup of tea together before going downstairs. One's trying to prosecute, one's trying to defend. So it's a slightly long-winded sort of comparison. But I think with footballers, generally speaking, they do get on off the pitch. There are a few personal rivalries, of course, but say these two big players, they just respect each other. But I know what you mean, though. You want to see that edge. You want to see the two sides really going at it. As Ekitike now chasing the ball, it looks like he's onside.
Ekitike onside on the left-hand side, unless the linesman's delaying his flag. He cuts inside onto his right foot, takes a poor touch. Still going, has to just lay it off for Kirkes in the end, who plays it back down the channel, looking for Ekitike. Good defending from Kusanov, who watched it out for a goal kick. We've just hit the 45th minute in this run. I can't imagine too much stoppage time. Maybe 2 minutes. Yeah, there's going to be 2 minutes of added time. The cameras linger on Haaland because it's him with the big chance so far. It was in the opening 1.5 minutes of this when it fell in behind to him. His right-footed effort came straight down the throat of the goalkeeper, was well saved. And now the cameras linger on Van Dijk. A good battle between them. There's been good matchups, hasn't there? Haaland, Van Dijk, Marmoush, Kanate, O'Reilly versus Gravenberch. In the second half, we're hoping and praying that we get some goals to show for this being a good tactical battle so far. Cody Gakpo turns away from Silva. And it's a poor touch. He's not had a great half, Cody Gakpo.
No, he hasn't. I think it's not been a great half for the attacking players for Liverpool. They've struggled to really make any kind of impact. That said, we can't really say that the attacking players for City have been brilliant, but they've had a little bit more joy, I think, in actually trying to get their ideas down on the pitch. And here's Semenyo now.
Yeah, as we now see Rodri, who's not anticipated that at all. Gravenberch comes away with it. He finds Szoboszlai. Ball down the right is intercepted by Matt Gay again. He's been a wall at the back. Like I mentioned earlier on, he's been fantastic for Manchester City so far, on a limited cheap deal, of course, as well. I mean, I don't think you're going to get better value for money than Matt Gay here this season.
Well, he was already a proven asset for Crystal Palace, and he was already playing for England, so the fact that he's now joined a big side like Man City, I mean, it was always going to be the next step for him. He waited patiently. He was also very professional in how he requested the move, but didn't make any kind of song and dance about it, unlike Isak or Wissa in the summer. He just got on with his work, stayed at Palace until the time was right. And here comes Semenyo now, but that's a very heavy touch. Really
poor from Semenyo. He's been poor as well. I think I'd take him off for Ryan Cherky potentially in the second half. I think he's not had a good game out on that right-hand side so far. Of course, that can change just up until this point. We've got about 5 seconds remaining in the half with Man City on the attack. There's a man really struggling on the right-hand side for Liverpool. It's Dominic Szczerbakowicz, and the referee is going to blow up for half-time at Anfield. Well, the big chance of the half fell to Erling Haaland in the opening 2 minutes. He forced the save from Alisson. Apart from that, a cagey affair, but a really good tactical watch so far going into the break at Anfield. It's Liverpool 0, Manchester City 0.